Are fertilizer companies good investments? By www.profitableinvestingtips.com. The world of agriculture is another part of the global economy negatively affected by the COVID-19 pandemic and the resulting supply chain nightmare. The New York Times published an article about fertilizers like urea being in short supply. Farmers in India are desperate. China and Russia have cut off exports to make sure that their own farmers have enough supplies for domestic crops. And if farmers in whole countries can get the necessary urea, potash, and more than 20 other fertilizers, prices are up substantially. This brings us to ask the question, are fertilizer companies good investments? Fertilizers and crop yield. Why do farmers use fertilizers? According to Mosaic Crop Nutrition, fertilizers provide a substantial increase in crop yield on the same land with the same seeds and the same climate. Surveys of U.S. crop production indicate that corn yields would go down by 40% without the use of nitrogen, and by much more if phosphorus and potassium were not added to the soil. They note a study done in Oklahoma showing that yields of wheat go down by 40% if nitrogen and phosphorus are not added regularly to the soil. A study from Missouri showed that across all grains, 57% of yields came from the use of fertilizers and lime. And a study from Kansas demonstrated that 60% of corn crop yield comes from adding phosphorus and nitrogen to the soil. Fertilizer company business model. The intrinsic value of a company is based on having a market over the long term and their projected ability to sell their products and services to that market. As the population of the world increases year by year, we need more food. Fertilizers are a mainstay in keeping crop yields high enough to feed more and more hungry mouths. Thus, fertilizer companies will have a market for their products for as long as people need to eat. As we see this year, with both China and Russia cutting exports of fertilizers, food security is becoming a national priority. As more and more foreign fertilizer companies limit themselves to selling within their national borders, U.S. companies will have the field to themselves in selling to the U.S. farmers. This is a big market, as the USA produces a third of the corn in the world, 47% of all soybeans, 7% of wheat, and 16% of oats. The USDA provides information about corn and other feed grains, showing that the U.S. Corn Belt from western Ohio to eastern Nebraska, southern Minnesota to northern Missouri, and centered on Iowa and Illinois, will be a reliable buyer of fertilizers virtually forever. Who in the USA manufactures fertilizers? CF Industries is a major fertilizer producer headquartered in the USA and with operations in the European Union, United Kingdom, and elsewhere. They operate 17 ammonia production facilities, nitrogen, with the largest located in Donaldsonville, Louisiana. The company's primary products are all nitrogen fertilizers, including anhydrous ammonia, granular urea, and ammonium nitrate solution, as well as nitric acid, urea liquor, aqua ammonia, and diesel exhaust fluid. CF Industries sold its potash business to Mosaic in 2013 for $1.3 billion. Their stock went public in 2005 for $3.31 a share. Today, it sells for $60.95, and the stock pays a 1.97% dividend yield. The Mosaic Company is a Florida-based miner of potash and phosphate, of which it is the largest U.S. producer. The company has operations in 6 countries and is the leading integrated producer of phosphate and potash worldwide. Its stock sold for $12.75 in 1988 and goes for $36.33 today. Its dividend yield is 0.83%, and the stock has a 7.81 PE ratio. Within the last year, the stock has ranged from $22 to $42 a share. Intrepid Potash is a Colorado-based fertilizer company that leads in U.S. production of potassium chloride, muriate of potash. Other products include sulfur and magnesium for fertilizers and animal feed, as well as the oil and gas industry. Intrepid stock rose from $16.10 a share a year ago to $42.46 today. It does not pay a dividend and has a 22 PE ratio. LSB Industries is an Oklahoma-based chemical company that provides urea ammonium nitrate solutions, ammonium nitrate, and ammonia for farmers. Their diversified company also serves the mining industry and various industries. As such, they are not strictly a fertilizer company. Their stock bottomed out in July of 2020 at 81 cents a share and sells for $9.58 today. Investing in the global fertilizer market. The Street looked at the fertilizer industry as a place to invest. Worldwide, the market for fertilizers is expected to go from $121 billion a year in 2020 to $210 billion a year by 2027. Investments in this niche will not be home run hitters, but rather ships that rise with the tide as the world needs and produces more food by using more fertilizer. For more insights and useful information about investments and investing, visit www.profitableinvestingtips.com.